Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 6 of Committed. I'm your host, Kirk Bradley III. Today, we'll be bringing you an upcoming entrepreneur, business owner, and hopeful XFL athlete with XFL returning back to the United States. With no further ado, here you guys go. He can introduce himself.
Jamel Smith. I'm the owner of Flip the Switch Performance, and I'm trying to get to the league, XFL, NFL, whatever happens. That's the goal. That's what I'm trying to do. And that's pretty much what it is.
Okay, and to start, Jamel, with you balancing a business, training some of the top athletes in the state of Missouri coming out of high school, along with with also continuing your own journey. What does committed mean to you? When you hear the term committed, what does that mean to someone of so many backgrounds of your such as yourself?
To me, committed can be a lot of things depending on the situation and what the goal is. But to me, committed is just giving it your all to get what you want. You know what I'm saying? To basically to get what you want, you know what I'm saying? Waking up early, you know what I'm saying? Going to sleep on time if you gotta, go to work or something, you know what I'm saying? The small things with committed, you know what I'm saying? It's good to say you committed, but you gotta be committed on every level. Like with me, I'm trying to go to the XFL. I gotta be committed every day. I gotta hit the field, you know what I'm saying? I gotta lift, I gotta maintain the right diet, do all that, it's committed. When I'm training people, I gotta be committed to them. You know what I'm saying? I can't go to the gym and half weight, I gotta give them 110% of my time. So committed is just, giving it your all.
And I'm not sure if well others don't know this, but people that know you personally obviously know what your path with sports look like. In terms of that path, can you give us a more can you give us more insight or more details on where your love for the sport began or how you began to love sports in general, whether it be wrestling, basketball, or whatever sports you grew up playing, or you mentioned the XFL, so the NFL. Can you give us more insight on how you've or where that love for sports or just that sport of football originated from originally?
Well, I mean, I played JFL for a decent amount of like 3 or 4 teams in St. Louis, like, growing up. But I started, I want to say 7 going on 8. And I mean, I play up, so I pretty much 8 playing with 9 and 10-year olds. So I feel like that's why I really got the love for the game because I'm playing with people that's older than me and smacking them. You know what I'm saying? Like I was one of the best on the team when I was the youngest on the team, so that made me feel like, oh, this is something I low key need to be doing. You know what I'm saying? To try to take it to the next level. So I feel like JFL. That's when I got the love for the sport. So around 8 or 9.
And you mentioned that you were playing up with other kids, and that kind of helped you to pretty much signify, or that was the signal that you were better or just as good as the kids coming out of St. Louis, going to college and doing those things. Is there a specific event or what moment, whether it be JFL or was it in high school, or what moment or what play do you remember where things started to slow down for you and other people or just yourself started to recognize that you were a different athlete um, as compared to the other athletes, or just not just a good athlete, you were great?
I want to say when I figured out I was great at football is when I was able to run the ball. So I want to say 7th grade year. I played for the junior comets. That's what they was called at the time. And I just remember like our first practice, first time I touched the ball, I scored like 50, 60 yards. And then, I kept doing it and kept doing it. And then the game came. I'm getting 4 or 5 touchdowns a game, like with ease. You know what I'm saying? So like when I was able to carry the ball, that's when I figured out like I could actually do something with this. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, okay. So, you mentioned being able to carry the ball, and being able to do things that were different. As can you kind of go into more detail, about what made you different? Was it? I understand you said running the ball, but I mean, everybody kind of runs the ball. What were you doing with the ball? what were some of the plays, or can you give us like a player, or can you give us a game that changed it for you? Or for example, let's just go to high school, right? Because JFL, everybody knows you were a standout athlete in JFL, even from you having to almost move from St. Louis, and teams in Texas were recruiting you for football. So can you give us a little bit more insight on what committed being committed was like, or what you had to go through in high school when things began to when a competition got a little better, or just more things were involved in the sport rather just being great or just playing ball?
So I mean, in high school, I ran the ball as well, but the coaches seen the aggression and physicality I had, so they moved me to defense. And my freshman, sophomore year, I was kind of, on freshman, JV. And then my junior year, which don't get me wrong, like, as a high schooler, everybody want to be on varsity. I felt like, still to this day, I was just as good as some of the kids, but sometimes you gotta wait your turn. So my junior year went in, had a great year. I played the both sides, played fullback, running back, DN, nose guard. So I did a lot. You know what I'm saying? I played a lot. Like I said, I was versatile, and we almost went to a state championship. So with that my junior year, we almost went to a state championship. That following year, like I was the man. You know what I'm saying? Like my senior year, starting nose guard, starting fullback, slash a little bit of running back. So I had to really, you know what I'm saying, prove not only to myself, but to the team that I got them, to the city that I got them, because the goal was to go to the next level and play. So I mean, I feel like I did pretty good in high school. I was all conference, all state honorable mention, a couple little accolades. At being five, I was at the time 5'9", probably 220 at nose guard, with roughly about 86 tackles and like eight sacks. So I mean, I was doing my thing, but like I said, I just had to dig deep. I went from running the ball to tackling a person that's running the ball, so I just had to adjust and do what I had to do.
And you when you mentioned high school, you mentioned that you dealt with some adversity in the terms of just having to readjust, change positions. Can you give us a little bit more, or can you give student athletes or young athletes out there that might have to go through that more insight as to pretty much how you dealt with that, or how you overcame that adversity, and how that pretty much helped you take that next step when moving forward to the next step, let's just college?
So basically saying like what I tell them, like how I dealt with it,
Yeah,
pretty
like
much.
pretty much how what it felt like for you to go from running the ball to per se, okay, well, Jamel, you're a better blocker, you way more aggressive, so we want you to play fullback, and we need you at nose guard, or we need you at DN. So how, I guess, more insight onto what that felt like for you, having been always the leader of the team, the captain of the team, and you kind of dictate all of that.
Well, I mean, like I said, me personally, how I dealt with it, I grew up just more humbler. You know what I'm saying? So I took the coaching. I made, didn't agree as much as possible, but I made what I could make of it. You know what I'm saying? And when I adjusted, I was great at what I did. You know what I'm saying? So I just tell people like the young athletes, like, you just gotta dig deep, you know what I'm saying? Because you got a purpose. The coach not gonna, you know what I'm saying? They not gonna say it for no reason. Like, you know what I'm saying? If they see a attribute you got, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead and see what you can do with it. And like I said, it worked for me. So I just say just take the coaching.
So, you mentioned that you were often overlooked. You had to deal with some adversity in those early years before you went to college. Can you illustrate to the viewers out there, the kids that might not have a lot of attention from these big schools or Power Five schools? Can you illustrate what your path looked like, which is probably going to be the path that is the more nitty gritty path, the more of a dog path, more to go get it yourself path. So can you illustrate your path, being someone that's now you're getting looked at by the XFL? I mean, you made it to college. Can you kind of tell us how you still beat all of these obstacles and jumped over all of these hula hoops with still getting overlooked and being undersized and all of that adversity?
Well, personally, like I said, like I said before, like the dog part, like in college, I mean, in high school, I got overlooked. You know what I'm saying? I got a couple offers. You know what I'm saying? A couple small D2 offers, couple D1 offers, but like small D1, not, you know what I'm saying? They weren't even offers, they was walk-ons or something like that. So with me being undersized at nose guard, I had to, you know what I'm saying, work harder, you know what I'm saying? Then on top of that, some stuff that I did wrong in high school that people do need to know, like, you know what I'm saying, those kids, them grades, like I didn't have terrible grades, but I didn't have the best grades neither, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know if the kids nowadays do ACT, but that was big when I was, in high school. So I didn't do too good on that as well. So like that's what brought me to the path, you know what I'm saying? That right there was a start of something like a dog mentality on a different level.
Mhm.
Just, me already getting overlooked. Oh man, I can't afford this, you know what I'm saying? I had to go JUCO, and then I had took a visit to College of DuPage out there in Chicago. Uh Still in high school. I was still in high school. I was probably like my second half, like my second semester, my senior year. It was good and all, but couldn't afford it. You know what I'm saying? So I wound up just taking a break from like football in general right after my senior year. So me looking back, you know what I'm saying? Like when it's time for, your freshman year to go off to college, I'm looking. I'm just looking at all my friends, all my old teammates go to college. You know what I'm saying? I'm stuck at home. You know what I'm saying? I was working at Hooters. You know what I'm saying? So like it's a grind to it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got a story, you know what I'm saying? But you just gotta keep pushing. I never stopped thinking about football after that. You know what I'm saying? Like just because I didn't play for that year, you know what I'm saying? I still was thinking about it. I still was thinking about how I'm gonna get to this point. So I had stayed home pretty much for about a year and a half.
And you mentioned you saw your boys, your brothers, because you got friends that's going D1, you got friends going to Mizzou, you got friends going to Illinois, you got friends going to Michigan for football, friends going to full ride on wrestling scholarships, or cousins and brothers doing those things. What did that feel like for you? Because I mean, there's going to be kids that's listening to this that are about to be in that same spot. There's going to be kids that go to college that are going to be in that same spot. Maybe they go somewhere and they on the bench or they redshirted, and it's going to hurt. So what is that like? Let them know how that. How did that made that? You said it brought that dog back in you, because everybody don't have that mentality. So how did it feel for you, and how did you turn that or twist that into a dog mentality?
So the feeling is terrible. It's probably I ain't never been shot, but it feel like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's
You say you
terrible.
working at Hooters, man. Like you
Yeah, you
working
know what
at
I'm saying?
Hooters, and you
Yeah, like it feel like it's terrible. I'm punching in a clock. Like that's not what I want to be doing at 18. I want to be going to school, playing, doing what I do. You know what I'm saying? Tracing my dream. So I'm not gonna lie, the feeling was terrible. But the only good thing about it was it created who I am now. You know what I'm saying? A hard worker. Like, yeah, I was playing like I was, like I said, I was working the Hooters, but I was thinking about, going to play football still, going to school. That's why I was working the Hooters to stack up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going out there because I know I was gonna have to go JUCO. It's a whole different ball game in JUCO. So like you gotta have some little money stacked up for sure. You know what I'm saying? Going off to college. So like I said, I just the feeling was terrible, but I wouldn't regret what happened.
in terms of JUCO, what was the highlight? What was the highlight of JUCO? Was it was it the accolades you got? Was it the stats? Did you win? Was it the team's finish? What was the highest? What was the highest of the highest at JUCO, and what was maybe something you wish you could alter when you on the JUCO path? Maybe not alter for you, but alter for kids coming up that might have to go through what you did. Maybe in that sort of meal plans, maybe more support. What would you say is the highlight, and what's one thing you kind of want kids to know, or you wish you could change for up and coming JUCO kids?
Well, the highlight of JUCO is just for me. My highlight of my JUCO, like my 2 years, was just like building a. I got a few of them, building the brothership with, like, you know what I'm saying? Cause I'm not gonna lie, the people you meet at JUCO, like some of them become like your lifelong friends. Like I got a few of them, you know what I'm saying? I talk to on a daily, you know what I'm saying, that I played JUCO with. So it's like building up that brotherhood with some people you call brothers now, and just Saturdays, game day, every Saturday I look forward to that. Like, you know, and being like definitely my that first year, just looking at it being nationally ranked, definitely when I was overlooked my whole life. So it's like that really was a highlight to me, just being seeing your name up there. You know what I'm saying?
So you mentioned that you made it to Avila um from JUCO. So you've got the best of both worlds, the experience with a JUCO and a 4 year. What's one thing you wish you would change about the JUCOs, or you want to change for JUCOs for all the kids about to enter?
Most definitely getting them more resources, and I don't mean like school resources. I'm talking about like meal plans. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that, because and trying to get them, like, you know, just I feel like I wouldn't say like allowance or nothing like that, but like some of those lines so they eating a little bit better. Because in JUCO I can't say like you really, you know what I'm saying, you being a like JUCO is more like you being an adult. You going off to school and you paying for stuff. You know what I'm saying? You know, like at a 4 year, you got meal plans, you got swipes and all that.
You
Like
can be a student.
you don't have that at, you know what I'm saying, JUCO. You're a student, but you everything else with it. So I feel like that meal plan would be great for them JUCOs.
Okay, okay. And what was the 4 year like? Can you give us more? Can you give us a brief run through on what happened at Avila? You said you won a ring at Avila. What was now that you finally got to where you had worked to get, other than the league? You know, you get to a 4 year. Path might have not been the ideal path you wanted to take, but when you got to a villa, what did you like? What did you take away from a villa? Like, since when you finally were able to put your hand on it.
So when I got to Avila, um, it was COVID. So it wasn't COVID, but like COVID had just hit probably like 3 months while I was there. So I liked it most definitely. Like Avila most definitely is a good school, good. It's NAI, so like, you know what I'm saying. It's not D1, but it's like a private school, but great school. What I got from Avila is just like I said, got some more brothers that I could bring with me, but a sense of winning. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been winning, but I'm talking about like I won that ring, like, you know what I'm saying, a championship, a conference championship there, my first year there. You know what I'm saying, through COVID. So
Mm.
that's a lot of adversity off back. Like we had a whole seat, like, you know, our regular season, you know, fall. Our season was split up into semesters. So it's like we had a 10-month season
Mm.
to play 10, you know what I'm saying, to play 10 games and got a championship, a conference championship at that. So it's like a sense of just working. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been doing it, but like I feel like I still picked it up from there. And then I learned a lot. That's when I started my major. You know what I'm saying? I graduated JUCO, you know what I'm saying? But I got another major, kinesiology. So I started learning more about the body and stuff. So it's like from Avila, I gained a lot too. And then I had another adversity with another position change. I went from playing, you know, linebacker at JUCO, and I went to play nose guard at Avila. And the reason I have done that because, like I said, Stack, you know, we had a all conference, two all conference linebackers. You know what I'm saying? Right there where I wanted to be at. I'm not saying I wasn't down for the, you know what I'm saying, competition, but we all know how it is. You know, linebackers don't switch in and out like that.
Mm.
So it's like I'm not trying to be no, you know what I'm saying, no backup or barely be playing, knowing I'm just, you know, as good as someone. So it's just like I'm not knocking the coaching or nothing like that, but I took a switch on my own and moved to D line. And I feel like when I moved to D line, like I was, you know, I'm not saying back home, but I felt like that coach I had, Coach Burns, Jay Burns, he brought a different dog out of me. Like I'm dead serious. Like
Shout out Coach Burns.
shout out to Jay Burns for real. Like he brought a different type of dog out of me, and since he been at Avila, our D line is for all conference. We at least getting 3 or 4 all conference D linemen. I was one of them, so it's like it's just the atmosphere at Avila. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a private small school, but it's some good atmosphere there. So like I got a lot from Avila. Like you know what I'm saying? It's a good program.
So a combination of that dog mentality, getting overlooked early on, you get to college where you got to take you don't get to do what you love. You get the chance to do what you love, and you take full opportunity, take full advantage of it. Get to your 4 year. So with the path that you're on now, would you say that it's all of those experiences and all of those dark nights and then the success after that has brought you to the path you're on now? And can you give us more about the path that you are taking now? Whether it's the training or being a business owner, can you tell us, like you said, Avila changed a lot for you. At what point did you snap and you went from the kid that was not doing what he loved because everything then he wasn't checking off every box and then other people overlooked him, to now being the young man, the business owner, training some of the top athletes in St. Louis and still getting looked at and looks from the XFL?
You said like what can I say about it? Like
Or just like, did that is that what helped inspire the path now, and what does the path now look like? Can you give us what the journey now looks like?
so what I the path I'm taking now, I train people and like I train some of the, I train basically athletes, but I train like, like I said, people that just want to get more fit as well. Like I do it all, you know what I'm saying, in that environment. But so the path I'm taking now, I got my own company, like I said before, Flip the Switch Performance. And the path is just pretty much what it says. You flipping the switch. Like, you know what I'm saying? If I can have a athlete that's not so good, you get a couple sessions in with me, you know what I'm saying, or however how long you need, you gonna flip the switch, you're gonna be great. The ones that's great right now, you're gonna flip the switch and be greater. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
it's like the path I'm taking is I'm training people and I'm just trying to not only get them physically more better, but mentally and their mentality more better as well. Cause it's not just a company, it's a movement. You know what I'm saying? I'm flip the switch is a movement. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be having people grandkids saying flip the switch. Like it's a movement. Like I'm telling you, like, and I got a vision so for what I got going on. So with flip the switch, like I train what Kevo, he go to Eureka. That kid, he put in a lot of work in. Matter of fact, congratulations on him, by the way. He just hit 1,000 yards in 5 games. So I
Okay,
mean,
Kevo.
well, you know what? When you flip the switch, you see what happened. You know what I'm saying? But he was already good. But like I said, like I have trained Maul a few times.
But
Goes to
Marlette,
St. Mary's.
St. Mary's,
Yup.
running
Uh,
back out of St. Mary's.
hmm he committed to Mizzou. Like I said, he a dog. I went to their first game opener. He ate up, had about 3 touchdowns. Like, you know what I'm saying? He doing it on a consistent way, on a consistent, like consistently. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Deion Brown, Kirkwood, he averaging 2, 3, 4 touchdowns a game. Like, you know what I'm saying? They flipping the switch. You know what I'm saying? Like, they doing what they doing. So like, that's the path I'm really taking, and the reason I'm taking it is because I'm good at what I do. Like, I didn't just, get 100 tackles, all that for no. I put in the work. I was in a lab, you know what I'm saying? Weight room, field, like, and with all that talent I got and had, I mixed it with all the knowledge I got from them classes in Avalon. You know what I'm saying? That's what I became. Like I said, I'm still working towards of going to the XFL. Don't get me wrong. Like, that's number one, you know what I'm saying? That's the dream right there, to get paid to play football. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm taking that journey as well, but it's like I'm taking both of them, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So if I do make it to the XFL, I'm still flipping the switch, you know what I'm saying? It's still like I'm still gonna be doing that. And if I, you know what I'm saying, if I don't, it's still the same thing. So it's like that's the path I'm really taking.
And what is it? What type of commitment, or what does it look like for you to be committed to so many different paths? I mean, you mentioned you train three of the top running backs in St. Louis right now. Coming out of high school, you mentioned you train with Said, who you gave a shout out with, that's also getting invites to the XFL camps. You work with a couple
Guys from my school, I were from Avila, jog, play running back. Like, it's a gang of them at Avila that I train. You know what I'm saying?
okay.
So,
And what is that, how do you remain committed to that? What does committed remaining committed to the business, well, to flipping a switch, still working in XFL and still providing a life for yourself? What does that look like, or how do you remain committed to balancing so many different aspects of life?
well, for one, to remain committed to all those, I had to figure out, for one, how to be organized. You know what I'm saying? It's small, you know what I'm saying? It get overlooked a lot, but if you got so many dreams and stuff you gotta do, you gotta be organized. You gotta have, you know what I'm saying? It's just like your clothes. You got your
Mm.
drawers at the top section, the box, you know what I'm saying? The socks down here, the pants. You gotta be organized, and you can't just be all around and in your mind. Cause like when you get overwhelmed, a lot of people, get in their mind. You human, you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Sometimes that happen to me, but when that happens, sit back, relax, think about why you doing it and why you doing all this. You know what I'm saying? And then, like I said, put your feet on the gas and keep going. Like, it's so easy to just quit. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. It's so easy to quit. It's so easy to think about when you get in a job. It's so hard to get hired. You gotta go through all these steps, all this. But when you want to quit or somebody want to fire you or something, it's easy. You know what I'm saying? It's so easy. So it's just like I don't want easy. You know what I'm saying? I want hard. I want to keep going. So like that's what it is with me, just that dedication and hard work, all that, you know what I'm saying, balled up in one human, and I'm just gonna keep going.
Well, there you have it, guys. Episode 6, Committed, featuring entrepreneur, minority business owner, aspiring XFL athlete. He's not gonna mention it here, but he's definitely got some tryouts coming up, so we'll wish him the best of luck. Also, you two said who he's training with. But with no further ado, we'll wrap it up. Thank you, Jamel. Flip the switch at flip underscore the underscore switch underscore performance on IG. If you guys have any family members, if you guys have any aspiring high school athletes or college athletes that just want that work and get in the lab, and there you have it. Shot from Cross Grand, episode 6 of Committed. Thank you, guys.